welcome to the May 2025 monthly housing market update. We're going to focus solely on single family homes instead of the condos and townhouses for this video. So as we look here in May 2025, we have number of units sold is 2,087, which is actually down 13.1%. That's a big deal. There's also an increase of 15% of new listings, which is 3,591. Total units available, 6,646. So the median price has stayed consistent at 480 during this entire time for the units that have sold. And we have increased from 2.9 months of inventory all the way up to 3.2 months. So there's a lot more listings out there, and a lot of buyers right now are deciding, do they even want to get in the market right now because interest rates are so high? As of the time of this recording, 6.9% for a conventional. So it's a lot of things to consider. What I would say is a lot of people don't understand that when selling a house as a listing, being able to be flexible as the seller to help buyers in this time, because if you really need to sell your house, why not offer incentives just like a new home construction would to lower their interest rate? Now, that could be done through a multitude of different ways. One would be to do a 2-for-1 buy down. Another one would be to permanently pay down the rate. All that's possible. And check with your agent to see if they know anything about that. If they don't, give me a call. I can help you with that. Of course, as you know, my info down in the description. So as we move through here, now with the growth from April of number of units sold is actually down 4%. And again, this is partly because a lot of sellers right now still believe it's 2021 and they're trying to get 2021 prices. And a lot of buyers think it's 2009, 2010, 2011, and think they should get a much lower price than the homes are actually worth. So there's a fine line, fine balance going on right now. It's actually really interesting to see. A lot of each area in Vegas has its own little pocket, right? So in Summerlin, if the home is priced a little bit higher, it's going to sit for a very long time. If it's priced a little bit lower than where it should be, you'll get offers pretty quickly. If it's priced right at fair market value, it's either or. It's actually interesting. And then if you go to places like near Floyd Lambs Park, 89131 zip code, if you are priced in the general right area for the fair market value of the home, and by fair market value, we're looking at comps and you're going straight from comp numbers, not what your personal feelings are, then you get multiple offers in the first weekend. Multiple offers. Everyone seems to want to live over there for some reason. I mean, it's a very quiet, peaceful town, peaceful zip code. And as far as like the Southwest Mountains Edge area, that's where I live, you have the same thing as 89131. If you are priced correctly and effectively, your home will get sold. Easy as that. If your home has not sold and it's been on the market for a while, I'm sorry to tell you, but you are currently not priced right at all. Okay. And then Sky Canyon, I have a client that wants to sell their house in Sky Canyon, and they want, just for quick numbers, they want $600,000 for their house. Let's just say that. And I'm letting them know that right around the corner, they have 4, 5, 6, 7 different new construction developments that all of them are offering 4.5% interest rate on a brand new house. Now their house was built in 2022. So it's still new, but it doesn't have 4.5% interest rate. So if I'm the buyer's agent, I'm letting my buyer know that this house is great, it's amazing. However, why wouldn't we want to just go with the 4.5% interest rate for the exact same thing right around the corner? So these are things to consider. It's not just what other homes are selling that have sold for to make your comp. It's also think of the general dynamics of around your house. So Sky Canyon is seeing a lot of issues because of that. Cadence is seeing a lot of issues with that because you have the exact same issue. Your brand new house is being built and they're offering 4.5%, 5%. Whereas if your listing agent isn't helping you dissect and understand that you can offer people incentives to lower their interest rate to buy your house, then it's an uphill battle and you're not going to get the price that you probably do deserve at the end of the day. So that's my 2 thoughts on that. So as you can see here, time on market for units sold in May, 61% of homes, up 1.3% from April, are still being sold in the first 30 days, as you can see right there. 31 to 60 days, that went down just a little bit to 20.3 versus April in 2025 for 20.8. And homes are still being sold after 60 days. There's a much higher increasing number in that. A lot of that has to do with price reductions. A lot of homeowners, sellers now are starting to realize they need to reduce their prices. So it is starting to help. But if I'm the buyer's agent for someone trying to buy a house, I am letting them know there's room for negotiation in certain parts of the town. In 89131, you better offer list price if it's anywhere near fair market value. Even if it's a little higher, offer it because it will appraise, you'll be fine. So as we said, number of closings down 4% versus the prior month and down 13% over prior year. Now, last year, I think interest rates were closer to 5.5. So kind of where we're at now. A lot of people also need to understand that interest rates are not going to go back down to 3 or 4% ever again. It might hit 4%, but that's tough. So why not just get new construction at 4.5% for a brand new house that you can make it look all nice and fancy with all the stuff that you want in the house, versus settling for something that is already in the house. For single family market trends, number of new listings, we talked about that, 3,500, almost 3,600, up over last year. That's also another reason why homes are selling a little bit slower, because you have much more options than you did before in the last year. Effective months of availability, again, I touched on it earlier. It was at 2.9 months before, now it's 3.2. That's actually a pretty big deal. That's closer and closer and closer to a buyer's market. I think it's a buyer's market right now, and the only reason is because a lot of sellers are just not pricing their homes correctly. 2020, 2021, even 2022, you could price your home and overprice it by a good margin and still get multiple offers. You are not getting that right now. So if you're in your first week, first 2 weeks, first 3 weeks of your home being on the market, you need to realize that if you haven't gotten an offer yet, reduce that price immediately, because if you really want to sell it, you need to reduce now. And then as you can see, the 61.3% of closings are in 30 days or less, like we talked about before. So you can kind of see here, this market trend going up a little bit more. It is the summer, more people are trying to move, but this isn't really taking account for the new construction houses right now. They're kind of hurting everyone's price at the end of the day. These are condos. So, that's basically it. That's what's going on. This is the LVR board of directors. So at the end of the day, before you could get away with not pricing your home effectively, right now you can't. So if you want to have an honest answer of how much your home is worth in today's world, not only how much is it worth, but how much it will most likely sell for, drop in the comments or give me a call. Phone number, it's in the description, but I'll say it's 702-747-5921. You can even just text me if you want and just say, hey, what's my evaluation for my house? And go from there. You could also go to my website, www.rosehomeslv.com/evaluation. Go ahead and put your information there, and I will come back to you with a full report. No bullshit, only genuine, actual information. If you want smoke to be blown up your area, then I can definitely do that for you, but it's not going to serve you very well. So I like to operate under the assumption that you want an honest feedback, you want honest answers, and that is what you're going to get from me. I'm a very honest person. I don't like to sugarcoat things because just at the end of the day, like I said, I don't think it helps anyone. So other than that, if you have any specific areas that you want to know about, so like if you want me to do a deep dive into Summerlin, deep dive into Sky Canyon, Cadence, Southern Highlands, Mountains Edge area, wherever, put in the comments. I'll do a video and I'll send it to you. And that's kind of like this one, but a little bit more informative because it's what you want. And we'll kind of go from there. So other than that, Ryan Rose Homes, if you have any questions, call, text, email, whatever you want to do, I can help you out. Have a good day.